Weasel get bit by a snake? Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. And today we're looking at the story of a weasel potentially getting bit by a snake, or a reptilian creature. Who was the mastermind behind the swindle? The great swindle of 2019. Well, there's been a few swindles. There's been a few hoaxsters and tricksters and manipulators. But this one here just might take the cake. Just might take the cake. I don't know. I don't want to risk any copyright issues. But can I?
Guilty, but not the kind of
Can I?
He has demonstrated loyalty, but not the kind of loyalty that some of you think.
Boom. Let's get out of there. Okay, so what's the story? What is the story? Let's see if we can navigate this damn thing. Okay, so Showtime Sports head of Showtime Sports, Stephen Espinoza, tells The Athletic regarding Wilder Ortiz pay-per-view. It's heading to Fox. We had the opportunity to distribute the PPV, but the deal didn't make sense for us. We're not going to take what we feel is a disproportionate risk. Oh dear. Oh me, oh my. Me, oh my. Disproportionate risk. We're not going to take what we feel is a disproportionate risk to distribute Wilder Ortiz pay-per-view. Damn. Eddie Hearn done warned you before. We'll get to that in a second. Just trying to pick my way through this in a logical sequence. Okay, so let's get into the story. Where do we start? Yeah, let's start with that one. Okay, so the news has broke that Showtime, head of Showtime, Stephen Espinoza, said, or rather has expressed Showtime's position in not taking up the option to distribute or be the distributor of the PPV between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. Okay, rumors had, he's sitting pretty. We'll get to that in a second. Rumors had been swirling that Fox were the main runners, the front runners, to distribute the PPV, to be the PPV distributor for the Wilder Ortiz rematch, Wilder Ortiz 2. Now, why is this a smack in the face for Stephen Espinoza, aka the Weasel, known as the Weasel by some? Why is that a smack in the face? Because right here is the point at which they had a press conference. Stephen here on the mic at a press conference that was after the DAZN offer. The DAZN offer which would have secured Deontay Wilder $100 million for 3 fights on DAZN. One fight, the first fight, $20 million to fight. Where is he? Where is he? Where is Bree? There he is. There he is. $20 million to fight Breezel. Bearing in mind that Wilder's average standard purse was in between $1 and $2 million in his previous fights. Now, DAZN were offering him 20, probably 5 times what he was used to. 80% more than he was used to fight Breezel in a mandatory fight. And then 2 fights against Joshua, $40 million apiece. That was the deal which DAZN offered to Deontay Wilder. Now, Stephen Espinoza and Showtime scrambled and tried to make things possible, feasible for Deontay to stay with Showtime for his next few fights. And they came up with an offer. They came up with an offer in the area of $10 million. They said they couldn't match DAZN, but they pulled strings to make an offer that Deontay Wilder could accept. And they came up with a reputed $10 million. And they talked about loyalty. That's the clip I showed you before. Talked about loyalty between Showtime and Deontay Wilder. But they must have been thinking that they would have stacked $10 million with paid in good faith, in good grace, would have earned Deontay Wilder's loyalty going forward. But Deontay Wilder came out in an interview recently and said that he wants the fight, the Ortiz fight, on the biggest platform possible. Yeah, sitting pretty. And as we know, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, the umbrella under which Deontay Wilder fights, headed by Al Heyman. They have 2 TV deals. One with Showtime and the other with Fox. Fox being the bigger platform. Deontay Wilder recently came out in an interview in the Boxing Voice saying that he wants it on the biggest platform possible. That must have been a dagger to the heart of Stephen Espinoza, because he knew not yet that meant Fox and not Showtime. So the writing was on the wall. The Deontay Wilder, all the talk of loyalty between him and Showtime was just a facade. So, the money shelled out, the extra money shelled out by Showtime for the Breezel fight, the basic fight, non-glamour fight, it seems, was just a waste. They were trying to buy loyalty. They were talking about loyalty and trying to buy loyalty, but you can't buy loyalty, it seems. Or if you can, they didn't pay enough to earn the loyalty of Deontay Wilder. And now he's after Fox. But it was interesting, nonetheless, to hear the words of Stephen Espinoza. Let me share that with you right now. Some of the words of Stephen Espinoza. So, Espinoza, as I said before, I showed you the tweet. Where's the tweet? Espinoza said, "We had the opportunity to distribute the pay-per-view, but the deal didn't make sense for us. We love Deontay Wilder and we believe Wilder-Ortiz will be an exciting fight. but we're not going to take disproportionate risks in order to secure it. We know the boxing market has been undergoing significant change, and that's not unprecedented. Over the years, we've seen a lot of newcomers enter the sport and try to change the marketplace. But we were here before all of that, and we will be here after that and continue to thrive by making smart, strategic choices at the right time. So, what can we read into Espinoza's statements? Well, for one, it's up to interpretation. It's open to interpretation. And my interpretation of it is as follows. Stephen Espinoza is saying that this is not economically viable. It is not it's viable, but it is not an economically appealing situation. What is unappealing about it? Well, for one, Showtime would have had to put up guarantees. No doubt Wilder would have been asking for guarantees. And not just Wilder, but of course, they wouldn't have had to just satisfy Wilder, but of course, they would also have had to satisfy Luis Ortiz. They would have to satisfy Luis Ortiz because remember, Luis Ortiz effectively turned down a $7 million offer. A $7 million offer from DAZN. And under the promise, one assumes there would have been a promise from PBC, Premier Boxing Champions head honcho, Al Heyman, saying, don't worry, you'll get that money back. You'll make that in the Wilder fight. That's been the talk. That's been the talk from PBC. Don't worry, you're going to get that money back when you fight Deontay Wilder. So, whoever puts up the fight would have been under pressure to satisfy Luis Ortiz's demands, to satisfy the debt, to make right the debt. Because right about now, Luis Ortiz must be under the apprehension. Is it apprehension or misapprehension? But he's under the apprehension that he's going to make in this fight what he was theoretically instructed to decline from DAZN on the basis that PBC would make it right. There he is, Luis Ortiz, on the ground. Deontay Wilder, smiling. He's smiling. He's smiling. Is that a better angle? Nah, the same. No good. Okay. So, whoever puts on that fight has to come up with the guarantees. One can presume. And it was too much of a financial burden for Showtime. But interestingly, let's look at the words of Eddie Hearn in his dealings with Stephen Espinoza, who must feel bitterly hurt right now. Bitterly hurt. The money he paid, overpaid for Wilder versus Breezel. That money he overpaid did not buy loyalty. Well, let's look at Eddie Hearn's words in relation to at Stephen Espinoza. 1. I'm responding to comments that proof of funds were provided. No, they weren't. 2. I asked for a contract. This was flat out refused. 3. Does Deontay Wilder have a contract with Showtime? 4. Good night.